Pornography is not just a habit. It is a wound that opens in silence and grows in the dark, a secret cycle of pleasure and shame that slowly steals your peace, your clarity, and your sense of purpose. And what if I told you that God was never forbidding pleasure, but protecting you from a life that collapses from the inside out? Science now confirms what Scripture has whispered for centuries, that the soul and the brain break in the same way and heal in the same way. Pornography disorganizes the mind because it floods the brain with dopamine at levels so high that real relationships lose color, lose their beauty, and true intimacy, the kind that truly fulfills, loses its meaning. Each click demands the next. Each image needs something stronger. That isn't desire. It's dependence, like a drug that pulls you deeper and deeper. Researchers call this reward desensitization. Pornography doesn't only affect the body, it alters the brain. And without noticing, it reaches deeply into the soul. It's when the brain, accustomed to receiving dopamine in very high amounts, very quickly, and in a completely artificial way, begins to reduce its own sensitivity to protect itself from the overload. In other words, the more dopamine it receives, the less it feels. And the less it feels, the more it demands. The cycle begins, they're silent, treacherous, almost invisible. The result is devastating. Simple things stop making sense. Breakfast no longer brings pleasure. A hug loses its warmth. The routine becomes heavy. Work feels dull. And issues like erectile dysfunction, increased anxiety, depressive symptoms, and so many others. The list is frighteningly long. Even spiritual life begins to empty out. The person feels no motivation, no energy, no joy. The world feels gray. The heart feels distant. The soul feels tired. And then, just to feel something, the brain begins to ask for stronger stimuli. Videos with more intense scenes, more explicit content, more tabs open, more variety, more excess. What once was enough no longer satisfies. What once seemed strong now feels weak. What once brought pleasure now causes nothing at all. Science calls this the Bible calls it slavery, and both are describing the same prison. A mind that has lost its balance, and a heart that has lost its direction. When the person tries to pray, they feel they can't. When they try to seek God, everything feels distant. When they try to feel hope, the inner world feels far too silent. It's not because God has moved away. It's because the heart and mind are wounded, tired, and overloaded with stimuli that were never able to fill the emptiness. But none of this is the end. It is simply the portrait of a wounded heart waiting to be restored, and of an exhausted brain asking for healing. Then the deception becomes clear. Pornography promises excitement, even relief from stress, but what it delivers is a vast emptiness. It promises control. I can stop whenever I want. You tell yourself, but deep down, you know that isn't true. It promises pleasure, but destroys your ability to feel real pleasure. Many men and women don't understand why they live tired, unfocused, scattered, and spiritually dry. But the truth is simple. Each act leaves the soul more fragile, more dependent, more lost. This is not about God punishing human desire. It's about God freeing you from what destroys desire. And maybe you feel it now. The exhaustion, the guilt, the sense that you've tried to stop and failed more times than you can count. But listen, you are not dirty. You are not alone. You are not broken beyond repair. You are simply human, fighting a battle far too heavy to carry on your own. Science can describe the addiction, but only Jesus can heal the wound behind it. Describe the addiction, but only Jesus can heal the wound behind it. He does not come to condemn you. He comes to restore everything sin has taken from you. Your mind, your purity, your ability to love, your true joy. If the Son sets you free, you will be truly free. John 8:36. There is freedom. There is restoration. There is life beyond this battle. And today, your return begins with a simple whisper. Jesus, heal what I cannot fix on my own. Because you are not your struggle. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are loved. You are seen. You are being called back to life, one step at a time, one day at a time, one prayer at a time. Finally, remember that everything begins with a true decision, the kind you cannot turn back from. Do not walk away from the only one who can make you clean. May Jesus help you on this journey, and may God continue to bless you. With brotherly love, Minutes of Grace.